All right, I'm here with Minority Leader of the City Council, Tom Saadi, and I just want to talk to you a little bit about my favorite topic, which is the parade ordinance. Could you just give my readership an update on the ad hoc committee and the status of the parade ordinance?
Well, the status of the ordinance is the ordinance that was passed is still in place. The status of the committee is that the committee doesn't exist anymore. It was sunsetted by the mayor, which basically means that he did not extend the life of the committee for it to meet and do its business. You know, whether people may not know this, but all committees are appointed by the mayor. They're renewed every 30 days if they haven't finished their work. Some are sunsetted if their work is no longer necessary, if the issue's already been dealt with. And this particular committee was sunsetted last month without reporting out any analysis or changes to the parade ordinance.
All right, so again, if we just go back a little bit to when the parade ordinance was voted upon, the mayor assured people there would be an ad hoc committee done to address the concerns raised by members of the committee as well as members of the public in regards to some of the objections they had with the parade ordinance. That committee was formed. It was never, from my understanding, the committee never met. And what you're saying here is at the last meeting, this ad hoc committee was dissolved by the mayor?
That's correct. It was dissolved, so there is no ad hoc committee any longer. You know, I opposed not the concept of this ordinance from the beginning because I understood the need to try to address some of the concerns of, organizations having parades and police coverage for those parades and traffic concerns and being able to plan. You know, you can't occupy roads and divert traffic without the city and the police knowing that that's going to happen. But I was very concerned that the ordinance was being proposed as a reaction to something it couldn't cover. Spontaneous celebrations and parades down the street that nobody planned ahead of time but just sort of happened. Also that there were a lot of technical issues with it. The low amount of 20 or 25 people that could potentially cover impromptu events or even planned events that really aren't parades, as well as some other technical flaws within the ordinance that I felt if they were addressed it would be a better but not perfect ordinance. My understanding was that this committee, I was overseas on military duty, was supposed to address many of those issues. The ordinance was passed, and those issues, as I understand so far, still have not been addressed.
So as a member of the council and the minority leader of the council, what are you going to do to address this? Because I'm sure, although this has been a long time since the ordinance was intact, a lot of people still do remember this, including myself, and they still have grave concerns about this ordinance.
The plan, as I would see it, is for me and others to go through the ordinance as it exists right now, make sure, see if those issues are still there, and if there's any issues of concern, to ask for the appointment of a committee, or even without a committee, for the administration to come back with suggested adjustments or changes to the ordinance and propose it to the council. So this can be dealt with through a variety of ways, but the key thing is addressing those problems which it seems sort of fell off the radar screen. Now some people may say, well, you know what, it really hasn't been a problem, so why do we have to go back and fix something? Well, the concern is that when you pass a law, whether it's an ordinance, a state statute, or federal law, and you have people who understand its problems and adjust according to those problems to make sure it's not a problem. Down the road, you may have somebody that doesn't understand that. They might enforce it in a way that could really highlight some of those issues. That's the concern. We want to make sure it's the best ordinance possible. I think people on both sides of the political aisle agreed with that, and that the understanding was this ad hoc committee would deal with those issues and come back to the council. So the mayor would have to appoint a new ad hoc committee or come up with recommendations himself to the council.
Well, it's incredible that we're still talking almost 4 years since the passage of this thing. We're still talking about that. Hopefully, we'll get a resolution that'll be that'll be satisfactory for all parties involved. So, thank you very much.
Thank you, Al. I just want to see that we have an ordinance that covers costs, deals with traffic concerns, and doesn't in any way discourage people from assembling peacefully, celebrating, whether it's holidays, ethnic backgrounds, or religious celebrations.